Okay, guys, we're going to go back to factoring again. We're going to be factoring. And then we're going to solve. So first we're going to factor just like we did last week and the week before that. We need to find, and I'm giving you the easy ones. I'm not giving you the hard ones. So we need things that multiply and give you 10. So products or multiples of 10. Products of 10. No, multiples of 10. Things that multiply and give you 10. 1 times 10, 2 times 5, and that's it. Which one of those gives you a sum or a difference of the middle number? 3. 2 and 5, right? If it's a sum or a difference? Difference. If I subtract those two, it gives me 3. So it's a difference. Write it down. And what do you remember about difference? One has to be a positive and one has to be a negative. Okay, write those down. If this is a positive, or whatever sign that is, the bigger number is going to take that sign, and the other number is going to take the other sign. So when I do this, it's going to be x plus 5, because it's the bigger number, and x minus 2. Those are my factors. I just factored it, okay? Then, it tells me right here to set each factor equal to 0 and solve for the other x, for one of the x's. So this is what we did yesterday, right? So we're going to set them equal to 0 and we're going to solve. So this is x plus 5 equals 0. And this one's x minus 2 equals 0. And I'm going to solve. What do you remember from yesterday? You move this over, change the sign, done. X equals negative 5. Okay? You move this over, change the sign. Positive 2. X equals 2 is the other solution. Done. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to factor first. And then we're going to change the signs, and those are our solutions. Solve. All right, so let's practice some more, because I know you're going to need some practice. And remember, if I go too fast, you need to pause the video or rewind. So we need to factor these two. I need things that multiply and give me 3. 1 times 3, that's the only one, right? And does 1 and 3... give me a sum or a difference of 4. Sum, right? Write that down. So for it to be a sum, they're either both going to be positive or they're both going to be negative. Right? And because this is a positive, then they're both going to be positive. Right? So my factors, this is how you write factors. X plus 1 and x plus 3. Done. Okay, then I set them equal to 0. X plus 1 equals 0 and x plus 3 equals 0. And I'm going to solve. So what are my solutions? Change the sign, right? So if I change the sign of this one, what does it become? X equals negative 1. Opposite. Right? And if I change the sign of this one, what does it become? Negative. X equals negative 3. We are always going to change the sign for the solutions. These are our factors. Factors. These are our solutions. Okay? Here's a refresher. Draw this on the back of your paper. This is a quadratic. Okay? These are my solutions. These are my zeros. Zeros, x-intercept, and roots. Okay? These right here are called solutions, zeros, roots, x-intercepts. Okay? And these are your factors. Factors go through the solution. So those are factors. And they look like this, right? So first we find the factors, then we find the solutions. Pause the video if I went too fast. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep factoring. I need things that multiply and give me 24. So things that multiply and give me 24. Make sure that you have your green sheet so that you're looking at these. 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, and 4 times 6, right? Which one of those gives me a sum or a difference of 11? 3 and 8? If I add them or subtract, sum or difference? Sum, because you add them and it gives you 11, right? So write that down, sum. So they're either both going to be positive or they're both going to be negative. They're both going to be positive because this symbol is positive. Both of these are positive, so this one, both have to be positive. So here are my factors. Use these numbers, x plus 3, x plus 8. And some of you are probably going to skip this step from now on, because you should already know what the solutions are, right? You just change the signs. You can skip this step if you want to, okay? Move this 3 over, change the sign. What's one of my solutions? X equals negative 3. And what's my other solution? X equals negative 8. Okay, I want you to pause the video and I want you to do this one and this one. Pause the video now and do those two and we'll check them in a little bit. Okay, so you should have paused the video so that you can practice by yourself without copying all my work. I need numbers that multiply and give me 21. That's 1 times 21 and 3 times 7, right? Which one gives me a sum or a difference of 10? 3 and 7, and it's a sum. If I add those two, it gives me 10. So they're either both positive or they're both negative. Well, this is a negative, so they both have to be negative. So when I do my factors, x minus 3 and 7. Okay? And then we set them equal to 0. So I have x minus 3 equals 0, solve, and x minus 7 equals 0, solve. Move this over, change the sign. X equals 3 is one of my solutions, one of my zeros. And then move this over, change the sign. X equals 7 is my other 0. So these are my factors, and these are my zeros. There's a difference. You have to know the difference, okay? Because in quizzes, they're either going to ask you for the factors or for the solutions or zeros. All right, this next one, things that multiply and give me 16. 1 times 16, 2 times 8, 4 times 4. That give me a sum or a difference of 8. 4 and 4. It's a sum. That's a negative, so they're both negative. Okay? So my factors, x minus 4, x minus 4. What's the next step? Set them equal to 0 and solve. So x minus 4 equals 0, solve. x minus 4 equals 0, solve. When you move this over, change the sign, it becomes 4. X equals 4. When you move this over, change the sign, it's 4. X equals 4. How many solutions does it have? How many solutions are there? ¿Cuántas soluciones hay? This is a solution. This is a solution. How many are there? 2? But they're the same. It's one solution, and it's just 4. Okay? When they're both the same, it's just one solution. This one has 2 solutions. One's at 3, one's at 7. This one has one solution. Okay? One solution. All right, the bottom 2. I need to help you with those because they're not ready. How are they not ready? This needs to move back over here. Okay? Over here, same thing. This needs to move back over here. Everything needs to be on the same side. Todo tiene que estar en el mismo lado. So when I move this over, what happens? The sign changes. It becomes negative. So I have, write this down, x squared plus 4x minus 21 equals 0. And it's ready. Now it's ready. This one, when you move it over, what happens? This is a positive 4x. What does it become? Negative. The sign has to change. This is positive. It changes to a negative. But where do I put it? Do I put it in the back or do I put it in the middle? It has to go in the middle, okay? So it's x squared minus 4x minus 45 equals 0. Okay? If you don't get it, pause the video, think about it for a little bit, and if you still don't get it, raise your hand and I can help you with why it becomes that. Okay, so now I need you to factor. I need numbers that multiply and give you 21. 1 times 21 and 3 times 7. It needs to give you a sum or a difference of 4. 3 and 7. Sum or difference? Difference. So 1 has to be positive, 1 has to be negative. The bigger number takes that symbol, whatever that symbol is. So if this is positive, the 7 has to be positive. So my 7, x plus 7 is positive, and x minus 3. Okay? Let's factor this one. Because you guys already know how to find the solutions, right? What's this solution? Negative 7. X equals negative 7. What's this solution? Positive 3. X equals positive 3. Okay, factor this one. I need things that multiply and give me 45. 1 times 45. 5 times 9. What about 3? I think 3 works. 3 times 15. Okay. Which one gives me a sum or a difference of 4? 5 and 9. So it's a difference. One's plus, one's minus. The bigger number is going to take that minus. So the 9 is going to be minus and the 5 is going to be plus. Equals 0. What are my solutions? What are my solutions? X equals positive 9 and x equals negative 5. Good job. Okay, we're going to do quizzes. So get ready for quizzes and let me know when you are ready so that I can put the code up here. Get some paper so that you can write all of this